Okay. So I wanted to talk about, Vontaze Burfict. He got a 3-game suspension. Whether that was fair or not. Honestly, I think it is. The reason being is, they continue to find him. He's been in, a few instances where he's, kind of on that borderline. And I understand, he's an aggressive type of player, but I do believe that he could have avoided that hit. I know he was in the confines of the game and anything like that, but some people are going to disagree with me, some people are going to agree. And the reason why I say that I agree with the 3 games is I want Vontaze Burfict to let's just say it was on the other side, that he was actually, Antonio Brown, and he got hit like that, and it could have been avoided, and now possibly Antonio Brown can't play the next game. So now let's just get this straight. We all know that when people play football, typically you could probably say that Vontaze Burfict is probably he loves the game of football. Something that he's very good at. You can't take away from that. He's definitely very valuable to his team. But imagine now you can't play the next game because of a hit that could have been avoided. Not only that, is that if he wouldn't have made that hit, it would have made it a more difficult field goal. So what? They ended up getting 15 more yards, which made it a chip shot. Now, granted, Joey Porter was out there, and, Pacman Jones ended up getting a penalty. But, the thing is, you got to know in football, when to calm your emotions down. And I know people were like, oh, well, they should just took him out. And, he's that player, the coach, trusts him and just say, hey, listen, because they definitely need him. He's definitely a game breaker, like when he came in and he made that sack against Ben Roethlisberger. But the thing is, they just want him to learn, because obviously, it's not about the money, and I guess he was fined approximately about $69,000 to $70,000. But I think it's just a lesson learned, that, if you come into that situation, how not to, react like that. And I do give him credit. He definitely did try to just, kind of like nick him and not really fully hit him, in which he fully could have, hit, he fully could have hit, Brown harder than what he did, and people were saying like, was, Brown faking, by studying that type of, protocol. And like I did a paper in college on concussion, you can see the way his hands went. So when he was, when his hands went like this, his body stiffened. So that's when you can tell like it was a concussion, because his arms stiffened. Like they just didn't just fall, flat down like this. They just actually stiffened. So I want to thank whoever, commented. I don't know if it got deleted or not. It wasn't by me, or if you took it off, about Joey Porter. But definitely just want to say that, with that being said, with Pacman Jones, I think, as far as, being upset and everything, and, you put it on social media, in which I understand, that's an outlet to vent. But the thing is, about you apologizing to Antonio Brown, I think you should apologize to him. It's just being a man about it. Like I said, definitely not taking away from you. You definitely a great player. But, learning how to control, your emotions during that. And I know it was tough. Joey Porter came, out there, and they did fine him, because it was a point that, when they came out and they got their player and they started walking back, and Joey Porter was still out there, so I definitely, believe that, he may have said something to you, by the way he smiled, because I've been in that situation before. I played ball, and, when you're very aggressive as a player, defensive player, sometimes you say things, to kind of, edge somebody on, or, make them react, and get a penalty. I've definitely said things like that. I remember I was playing a player in high school, and I was like, you can't check me. And then he slammed me to the ground, which we got a 15-yard penalty, but like I said, it's just things like that. But I definitely felt like, Pac-Man, should have controlled his emotions, because again, it would have been a 51-yard field goal. So, this video could have been different. The circumstances could have been different. And I think a lot of times you got to take advantage of the opportunity that you're in, and to make the most of it, because you don't want to put yourself in the same situation and then blame the referees or blame coaches. You want to look at what you can control yourself. So I definitely feel like, the fine was, appropriate for Joey Porter. He definitely, went out there and she should have turned back. I don't know exactly what he said, but, like I said, a penalty came or anything like that. And it was kind of funny. They said that, Mike Tomlin gave him the game ball, which we know probably Mike Tomlin didn't do that. But definitely was a great game, and I look forward to that. And like I said, I just feel like, Vontaze Burfict should apologize to, Antonio Brown, man to man. Like I said, it's just about being a man. Definitely, they're both competitors. Nothing to take against them. I mean, Brown is arguably the best receiver in the game right now. Vontaze Burfict is arguably one of the best, linebackers in the game, and people can argue and say, about the way he plays. I mean, he's just very intense, kind of, similar to kind of like, Sue, the way, Dominican Sue, played or anything like that. They kind of closed that line, and that's how football was. But, the thing is, that's why they had penalties in place, when you cross those lines. And like I said, I definitely don't think that, he tried to, literally, hit him in the head. I think he was just trying to get a good hard shot on him, but a light hard shot. And I think, the way Brown was coming down, he tried to duck and his head went down. That's where, Burfict hit him, So, like I said, but, I mean, just waiting to see the next game. So just want to say thank you.